chapter is called For Me as a Vocational Trainer. Now, what could be the next steps for you? That's sort of what we are doing in this last part of this training. So, when you are a vocational trainer, you sometimes will face some problems. So, who is going to help you when you're in a situation like this? Who are you going to ask? Can you help me, please? Can you give me some advice? Yes. Okay. We have this. We go to the next one. No, but let's think a little bit bigger than Com Nepal. Maybe you remember the slide, the vocational training zone and the private development zone. So when you have a problem or your trainee has a problem in his private life, where can you get help? Things like this I would like to discuss with you. And Mr. Secretary of the State, can you please write down the ideas that occur now? So what do you think? Who can help you in difficult situations?
Supervisor.
Okay, can you say something more about?
The company will help in this regard because the trainees are as a company.
Yeah.
We are just a trainer or maybe so we are responsible to train, but when something is out of control or need something, then the company is above us.
Yeah.
The company will help.
Yeah. But in your company, you're the boss and the vocational trainer at the same time.
And I have to call the consultant.
Yes, in a big company, this could be a help. Yes, sort of ask the human resources department or something. But when you have a very small company, just don't know. Yeah. So, but this in a big company, this is a possibility just to search help within the company.
Counselor.
No. Thank you.
You can contact them.
Yeah.
For me, like when I say supervisor, because there should be the feedback mechanism or help mechanism established in the organization, even in the company. So that team of people, or maybe let's say if it's a small, then at least one person who can acknowledge this problem. So helping doesn't mean like you can solve everything, but you just raise a voice and there's somebody that can listen to you. Then the company can sort out help, maybe from experts, consultants, or within the organization. That's what.
Sometimes I have feel sometimes someone who is raising the question or making the problem, he has solution. So sometimes if you allow, maybe he will solve himself.
Yeah. That's a
But
nice.
also he's
This I like.
potential.
Yes. Because when the solution comes out of the problem, it's much easier. Yeah.
So see, it's referring is when there is little bigger company, there are different departments over there. So there is someone who is better on that areas, so you can just inform whether they can help. Maybe personal counselor, psychologist, or whatever. So maybe in the case of bigger company, it's possible that other network you connect a refer.
And maybe you should start thinking also about who can help you out of your company from the outside. Is there somebody you know who could help?
So, I want to clarify this question. So, as we are seeking help for our problems or the training? Or both?
You're so the trainee's problem in vocational training. sometimes sort of get your problem as well, because the blue part, I go to this slide again. So, if the trainee still lives with his family and he has a family issue, he has a fight with his father or whatever, you will feel it during vocational training. He gets late in the morning or whatever, you will feel it. So you cannot solve the problem. You don't carry the rucksack. But the performance here will be different if a person has problems. Financial issues, addicted to computer games, I don't know. There are fell in love, terribly, things like this. So what do? You have, who can help you in a case like this? So the problem is in the red square, but you can feel sort of I don't know the word, but you can feel in the blue square, it influences, the performance drops, the person is unpunctual, and can mean a lot of things. So here it says pointing out the consequences. What is here, Viola? Raising awareness of the problem. That's okay, but maybe you need some more help. Maybe it's not enough to say you're unpunctual. Maybe you have to. There is something more needed.
As a vocational trainer, I think a big help needed is from the education institutions, because unless they send the training, there will be no vocational training. So I think a big help would be our educational institutions.
Yeah. And do you think they are able to do it? I'm not sure. That's just awesome.
Yeah, it comes to the awareness level. We need to raise the awareness and show that what product we have and help them design.
Yeah.
So, in terms of these private problems, which we cannot solve,
Yeah.
but we want to provide help, so we can seek out professionals. Like, suppose he is dealing with some stress in his family or in personal life. We cannot solve it, but we can suggest him to a counselor, maybe someone who can help, like who does it for a living, and we can send him to that person.
Yeah.
So as it's already in their counselor, so
Okay.
that's one thing.
So you will put everything like this in the counselor? In
Not
Switzerland,
everything.
in Switzerland, sometimes churches have social workers or I don't know. I don't know the Nepali system. That's why I try to figure out who can help. Because sometimes it's good just to call help and not to try to fix everything on your own.
It depends on what kind of need is
Yeah.
trainer asking.
That's
If that is internal company, then company can help.
yeah.
If that is a kind of problem, maybe trainer can have a mentor.
Yeah.
Percentage. If that is related to some legislation, then government what will be.
Now it's vocational trainer is as a vocational trainer, he should have other built-up network or aware informed. Like within here, there is a family counselor, youth counselor there. Even sometimes there is a pre-marriage counseling. So there are people like in our case also, the family here, TV and his wife. They are doing the counseling to young people, young couples. So as a vocational trainer, we should know, and then we can refer, connect. So that is the case. So even maybe some of our colleagues who have a different organizations who are running for society, others, so we can relate.
I want to share my experience.
right now.
Great. So this is already covered by counseling. Okay. Thank you very much.
The networking.
Okay. Yeah. You are a network. So just to discuss the situation, you could call one of your colleagues in here and say, I have this and this situation. What do you think about it? So this is a strong network, this is good. Use yourself as a network. I think this is important.
I think we have discussed within our table also. We have few points. Who can help us? Community or an individual. Next is social organizations, local body, resource person or institute. Because we need to take to the trainees to different institutes. Government, parents, and we thought about legal person also.
Let's talk about parents. I think it's difficult. Parents are difficult in this age. And as is mentioned today, you know, so talking in the school and everything is okay besides the math. So at home only the math is on top. So parents can be resources, but they don't have to be resources. So you have to be very, very careful in this case. Because all your trainees, they have a relationship to their parents. It's good or it's not good. You don't, most of the time you don't know. And you have a relationship to your trainee. So if you call the parents for help and their relationship is not good, your relationship is going to break because they are not going to trust you anymore. So you're an adult person, an adult sort of person to rely on. So when you talk with the parents, you have to talk with the trainee first. Is it okay if I talk about this with your parents? Otherwise, if you make it on the back way, the relationship will be harmed. You cannot fix this anymore. This is something. It's very, very, very important. Especially when they are 16. When they are 24, you cannot call the parents anymore. But you know, but when they are 16, they are not grown up. Those parents are still responsible until 18. I think it's in Nepal, isn't it? So your son is not. You're not responsible for your son anymore.
Yes.
Okay. How does it feel?
Since yesterday.
How does it feel?
Relax.
Okay. But no, it's. I think it's important. Before you call the parents, talk with your trainee. Is it okay if I? Because maybe the trainee says, I want to talk with my parents first. And this is also a difference. If I go to my parents and tell it, or my vocational trainer goes to my parents to tell something. So be careful. Parents can be a big help, but sometimes it's difficult. Okay. Let's talk about Com Nepal. That was the first thing that came. We did not write it down. So what help can Com Nepal provide? I don't know. We ask Com Nepal.
Com Nepal has a good network. Maybe Com Nepal will connect us with different places, and also there are able people to handle the things.
Com Nepal could be a mediator.
Yes, one thing is like the Com Nepal has so many mentors, but the mentors are not only in business, but they have other sector, like a counselor, sport, kind of things. I think even this training led us to think that direction. We create a more profile who has what kind of solution, so that we just connect. even that kind of things we allow them to tell when they come to the metro training, just marketing your what you do. Even that already somehow they know each other, that's also chances. But in the future, creating a profile of different working areas we can connect or refer.
Thank you. What maybe ComNetBall could provide is if you have a vocational training in one profession and you realize it's not going to finish in this company, maybe ComNetBall could say, we have another company with the same profession, so the training can change company. Things like this, in Switzerland quite often things like this happen, or it's not often, but it's possible to do it, and sometimes it's necessary, because when the relationship is sort of broke down and you have friction all the time, you cannot work. It's difficult. With friction all the time, it's awful for you and for the trainee as well. So sometimes maybe it would be a solution just to change company. Okay. What else? What do you think? I think we have it, but just maybe
Nepal police.
Okay. What do they do?
If something happens, dial 100.
They would arrive with flashing lights and
They will come like a security.
If we speak in terms of help,
yeah.
like these firefighters and these things also, if something happens while
Yeah.
training.
Yeah, when something bad happens, yes. Okay. And I think the most important is your network you build up now. I think I would rely on this. This could be a big help. Yeah. And since you know each other quite well, I think you also know who can help me in which case. So this is probably as well important. Asis, can you ask if the coffee break is already ready, or I have to fill these 9 minutes? Otherwise, I would make the break now and start the next topic.
Not ready yet. That is empty.
My copy tayar bhako?
Yes. Okay.
So
So, otherwise we have to start for 8 minutes, or you have to start for 8 minutes, and then you make the break, and then you have to restart again, which is a little bit strange. So, let's say 3:10. That's a little bit more than 15 minutes. We see each other here 3:10.